Hey, I don't know what to call this, but I want to show you something. Let's go. All right, well, that's the best intro I've ever done. But basically, I've got this song here that I used for the Stochastikizer video. And in this song, I have this little transition section, and I'll just play that for you now. All right, so it's like a breakbeat sort of thing. I've got just 4 tracks happening here. I've got the synth kind of completely changed the tone of it by changing the filter over time. I enabled unison on the synth. So let's just look at the synth. So the synth changes a few different things in this section. I've also taken the same pattern and applied pitch shifting to it. It's a MIDI pattern, so you can apply pitch to the item, either in item properties, this pitch setting here, or by using keyboard shortcuts. Item properties, pitch item up 1 octave or down 1 octave, and I've got that on command brackets. The next thing I have here is Addictive Drums, and I'll show you the preset. It's a custom preset. I showed you a video on how I do like distorted lo-fi things with Addictive Drums. So these drums are only used in this section of the song. So like filtering out a lot of the lows, using a lot of distortion. It's a bit noisy, kind of a lo-fi thing, but not too crazy. And then I've got this drum loop. Sounds like this. And that came from Addictive Drums, the exact same thing. So in the bottom of Addictive Drums, there's this audio recorder. And so you just drag and drop that into the project as an audio file. So that now sounds like this. And so you just make sure that it's, that loop length. Then I stretched it so that is a rate of 2. And then I also pitched it up. So you can just uncheck this preserve pitch. I experimented with this to find kind of the best tone, but basically half the length or twice the speed and pitching it up an octave is what I liked. So that's this sound. And then let's just get rid of this. And then I've got some effects on it, just re-EQ actually. And so I'm just like really making that one kind of tone around, what is this? 870 hertz pop out. So without EQ. So kind of like a nasally tone. And below all this, I've got just a straight kick drum. And that's playing out of contact, Prism drums, of course. And the only kind of thing I did special here was I turned down the velocity. So if you have the item volume knobs with audio files, that controls the playback volume of that item. But with MIDI, it alters the velocity. So I've got this down 25% less. And it saved me the effort of going into the MIDI editor and editing the velocities. I could just play this back and adjust how much kick drum I wanted in here. this drum library just does one shots anyways, but it would affect the amount of the effects that are inside of Contact for that. I mean, that's just a trick you can use on anything, really. The combination of the normal speed drums plus the pitched up, stretched or shrunk, and then filtered drums, I thought was a really neat effect. Nothing too innovative, but pretty useful. And I thought it was pretty important to have that straight kick drum in here to keep the momentum kind of going. So I want this transition section to be just totally different than the previous section and then and the following section, but I want one thing to kind of anchor it all in. So let's play that section without the kick drum. Bringing the kick drum in. So the transition would be bigger if I didn't have that kick drum in there because everything's more filtered, but it's less of a jarring transition. It flows better overall, and you keep the low end of that section. So that's it. I don't know what to call this. It's a something section of the song. I thought it was cool. Hope you found this somewhat useful. And thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon, and visit reaperblog.net for a lot more tutorials.